Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. When I heard that the federal government of Nigeria has given traders 1 month to crash prices of goods in the country, I thought that federal government is about to establish its own supermarkets where it will be selling things at controlled price. But alas, I was disappointed that that was not the case. The last time I heard about a country that was put in economic crisis like Nigeria, and they attempted to control the price of goods, was in Venezuela, and it ended badly. And I doubt if Venezuela has yet recovered for that economic rascality. Now, Nigeria is a capitalist country, whether we like it or not. It was that same capitalism that influenced the government decision to float the Naira, so that demand and supply would determine the price of goods and services. The price of demand and supply would determine the rate of the Naira against other international currencies. That was the essence of the flotation of the Naira, based on the advice of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, that the rate of the Naira should not be fixed. The Naira should float and its value be determined by demand and supply. It was one of the proudest moments of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he was able to do it, that he floated the Naira, because I know that the Buhari administration resisted that temptation to float the Naira. But Tinubu administration, understanding that Nigeria is a capitalist economy and they want to go full scale, they devalued the Naira, or they floated the Naira. And that flotation of the Naira is at the center of the high cost of goods and services in Nigeria today, because that is at the center. So if really they are sincere about reducing the cost of crashing the price of goods, it have to start from going to ask MFL, as bad as it may seem, how were they able to defend the Naira, to protect the currency that by the time they were living, MFL and Buhari were living, the Naira was at 400 Naira to the dollar at the I&E window, and 700 Naira to the dollar at the parallel market, or what is called the black market. Now, Nigeria being almost solely an import-dependent country, you will therefore know that they ought to have known that the price of imported goods are going to skyrocket. Even the price of goods manufactured in Nigeria, in which some of its raw materials are imported, are going to go up. That ought to be the strategy. But no, what they want to do is to blame the traders, that they are the reason why the price of goods are going up. It was the same mistake that Venezuela made. But in the case of even Venezuela, Venezuela had to establish supermarkets, government-owned supermarkets, so that if the private supermarkets are selling at the price they bought, you go and line up in government supermarkets to get it at subsidized or at the reduced price. Even at that, Venezuela failed woefully. The government supermarkets in Venezuela was empty. Now Nigeria is copying that without even establishing its own supermarkets. Now let us go through the story so that you'll be able to understand where this thing is leading to and the consequences, because there will be consequences. Because when they start the enforcement of price on supermarkets, you see that supermarkets in Nigeria will do like what they did in Venezuela. Supermarkets will go underground. You can only get them in the black market. So if you are looking for tissue paper, you go to the government supermarket to go and look for it. But in Nigeria, we don't even have those. Then, because when you close down the supermarkets because you want to enforce prices, people will have to go to the houses of supermarket owners and be buying it as if they are buying from the black market. Because that is what has happened in Venezuela. Now let us look at the federal government's position so that you'll be able to appreciate where I'm coming from. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has given 1 month moratorium to traders and other market stakeholders involved in exploitative pricing. They call it exploitative pricing, to crash the prices of goods. The newly appointed executive vice chairman of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Tunji Bello, said this at a one-day stakeholders engagement on exploitative pricing in Abuja. According to Bello, the commission will begin enforcement after the moratorium. He said the meeting was to address the growing trend of unreasonable pricing of consumer goods and services and the unwholesome practice of market associations and unwholesome practices of market associations. Bello described the commission's finding that a fruit blender known as Ninja was being sold at a popular supermarket in Texas for 140,000 naira. That's equivalent of $89. Let me take it again. Bello described the commission's finding that a fruit blender known as Ninja was being sold at a popular supermarket in Texas. Texas is in the United States for $89, which is an equivalent of 140,000 naira, according to this report. But if you go by the current rate at the time I'm recording this video is about 1,600 naira to the dollar. That's about 142,000 and 400 naira thereabout. Can't recall what it was when I calculated it. But he's saying that it's 140,000 naira. That's what they are selling that Ninja blender in Texas, in the United States. So he is wondering why the same product was being displayed for 949,999 naira in a supermarket in Victoria Island, Lagos. That's almost $1 million naira. Bello wondered the arbitrary hike in the price of the blender compared to the price in Texas. First of all, that blender, the blender he was talking about, the Ninja blender, in America also it was an imported product. Unless Ninja also has an assembly plant in America. Ninja is produced by a Chinese company. It's manufactured in China. So in the United States they're selling it at $89, which according to the minister is 140,000 naira. But at Victoria Island, Victoria Island, we all know what Victoria Island means. If you are living in Lagos and you go to Victoria Island to go and do your shopping, you ought to know what you are asking for. Because I can tell you for free, even the real estate where that supermarket is located in Victoria Island, the amount of money that will be paid for that in a yearly basis will be out of this world. And you go there to buy Ninja blender and they are selling it for you almost $1 million. Now, my take on that is that demand and supply should be able to determine what you buy on Ninja. If you want to buy Ninja blender and you go to Victoria Island and they sell it for you $1 million, you have a choice to buy other brands. You have a choice to go to other parts of Lagos. You have a choice to even go and look for Belgium Ninja. But I find it even surprising that it is that kind of product that they want to use to give an example. I had expected them to say that a bag of rice, that 100K bag of rice in Lagos, in Texas, is so and so amount. And this is what they are selling it in Nigeria. I had expected them to use things that are relatable to Nigerian people. Things like the price of what they are selling, 50 kg or 100 kg of beans, and what is being sold at home here in Nigeria. Compare it with other countries. But that's not what they did. To me, they're not even feeling what Nigerian people are feeling. They're talking about blenders to blend fruit juice and all that. We're talking about people cannot eat. People cannot have access to rice, to beans, to millet, to guinea corn, to garri. That ought to be the priority. And not about all these imported goods. Because the imported goods are high because of the government devaluation of the Naira, the flotation of the Naira. And the prices keep on changing. Because even if you go to the port rates in Nigeria keep on changing by the same government. That's a fact. So if you want to crash the prices of goods, you have to start from the top. The federal government, the Central Bank of Nigeria, what they are collecting as duty on the ports. Then the cost of transportation. The cost of transportation from the ports to all around the country. The cost of transportation. At a time when the price of fuel is being sold at 1,000 Naira in some places a liter. So he beggars belief how they are going to enforce it. We are waiting to. The story did not give us modalities how they are going to enforce it. Whether they will come to a supermarket and say, "This is the price you should be selling." We come here to enforce that a packet of detergent cannot be sold more than 200 Naira. But you can't do that in a free economy, in an economy that is controlled by demand and supply. So if the government is really serious, if the government does not want this country to enter into the kind of crisis that Venezuela entered into and is still struggling to get itself out of it, government should go and study the Venezuelan method and better it. What do I mean? The federal government should establish its own supermarkets. Its own supermarkets. And fix the prices in its own supermarkets. So that when Nigerians are looking for government control priced goods, they will go to government supermarkets. But government cannot force supermarkets, market women to sell at a particular price, because government does not consider what these people pass through to put all those things on the shelf. Government does not control the things that determine how the goods was able to enter the shop of the market woman, how she was able to manage to get the bags of rice or beans that she's selling. If government want to control, enforce prices, which we are waiting to see how they're going to do it, we have to keep our fingers crossed to see how they are going to enforce that. I have told you the only place I have seen that kind of enforcement where it was widely reported by the international media was Venezuela, and it ended badly. It ended badly. That is not the solution to the price of goods and services. Agreed, the government of Nigeria has removed tariff in some goods, some food stuff and stuff. Fine. Fine. Government is even an opportunity for the same government to use that same rate that it has removed to import all those things and be selling it in its own shops, its own outlets, so that when they bring it in, if their price is better, people can afford to pay transport and go to wherever the government is selling its own goods at a reduced price to go and buy, but not to determine what the private sector will sell their goods. No. It's not done anywhere where democracy and demand and supply determine the price of goods and services. This government is priding itself that it believes in demand and supply determining the economic, whatever happened in the economic space. That's why it removed fuel subsidy. That was why it floated in Naira. And these two actions of the government is the reason why the country is the way it is, and not the market women or market men fixing prices. These two actions is the reason why we are where we are. That was effectively captured by the New York Times and the Financial Times when they did an analysis of the state of Nigerian economy under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's what they should be addressing, and not taking us on the path of Venezuela. It didn't end well for Venezuela. I'm telling you in this channel, it will not end well for Nigeria if that is the path they think will crash the price of goods in this country. That's my take on this matter. I don't know what you think. Whatever you think, you can tell us at the comment box, and you can see on the screen too. I have books that I have written. Some of them I displayed here. If you type my name on if you type the title of any of these books with my name as the author by Paul Wadema, it will take you to Amazon, where you see my page. You order. Amazon is world's #1. Amazon is world's #1 in print on demand, and these books are available in e-copy, in paperback, in hard copy. The only one part of it we have not yet available at Amazon is the audio version, which we are still working on how to put these books in audio version. Thank you for buying these books, because as you buy them, it's also part of the support for this channel. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.